Access to English. Turning Point by Michael Coles and Basil Lord.
Copyright Oxford University Press, 1977.
Chapter 1. Finding a Flat. Section 1. In this book, we shall be reading about a young married couple, Arthur and Mary Newton. They haven't been married for very long. In fact, they've just come back from their honeymoon. They've just come to London, as Arthur's about to start a course in management studies at the Earl's Court Polytechnic, and Mary's hoping to get a job as a secretary. Arthur and Mary both used to work in a library in Middleford, a medium-sized provincial town about 30 miles west of London. Mary's parents still live in Middleford. She's an only child. She has no brothers and sisters. Arthur's parents live in a country village called Applefield. Arthur has a sister called Jennifer. She's still at school, but will be leaving soon. This week, Arthur and Mary are staying at a flat which belongs to Richard and Kathy Steele. They're away in Italy for a couple of weeks. Richard is the son of Arthur and Mary's old boss. They'll be back on Saturday, so Arthur and Mary have to find their own flat very quickly. This is quite a problem for them, because furnished flats in London are not only difficult to find, but they're nearly always very expensive. Section 2. Flats are usually advertised in the local paper and in the London evening papers in the classified advertisement section. Arthur and Mary are looking under furnished flats to let. They hope to find a self-contained flat with its own entrance, one bedroom, one living room, and a kitchen and bathroom. They would prefer to be situated close to a tube station and near a shopping centre. Arthur doesn't want to be too far from the Polytechnic, as fares in London are very expensive, especially for students and people with low-paid jobs. Arthur used to have an old car when he was in Middleford, but he has sold it now. It's impossible to find anywhere to park in London, so that nearly everybody travels by tube or by bus. Dialogue.
This one doesn't look too bad from the outside, does it, darling?
No, it's certainly better than that awful one we went to this morning. And it's nearer the shops, too.
It's about time we found something decent. I'm fed up with flat hunting. Do you realize this is the 8th flat we've looked at in 3 days?
I know, love. Never mind, though. We're bound to find something in the end.
The trouble is, the only decent ones we've seen are too pricey. I only wish we had a bit more money.
Well, come on. It's no good hanging about. Let's ring the bell and get it over with. Yes?
Good afternoon. We've come about the flat.
Oh, yes. It's Mr. and Mrs. Newton, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the entrance is round the corner at the side of the house. If you'd like to go round, I'll just go and get the key.
The entrance is a bit squalid, isn't it? That door could do with a coat of paint for a start. Come to think of it, it's time the whole outside was done up. I hate to think what the inside's like.
She's coming. Now, be careful going up the stairs. Oh, the carpet's a bit loose. I'm afraid the flat needs doing up a bit. You see, the last tenants were students, and they didn't take much care of the place. Oh.
Yes. There's just one bedroom and a living room, isn't there?
Yes, that's right. It's through here. Oh. There are 2 single beds in at the moment, but I could change them for a double one.
I see. Is this the kitchen on the right here?
Yes. I wish it were a bit bigger for you, but there it is. I think it's got everything. The pots and pans are in this cupboard. Oh. The crockery and cutlery are in that dresser.
What about the living room?
Yes, that's back here on the left.
Oh.
This is the bathroom, by the way.
Oh.
I've just had a new immersion heater put in. Here's the living room. It's a nice room, though it does need doing up. The carpet's a bit old, too. I wish I could give you a better one, but I can't at the moment.
Yes, it is a nice room. What do you think, Arthur?
Well, I'll leave you to think about it if you like. It's time I got my husband's dinner ready anyway. I'll be downstairs when you want me.
Well, it's quite cheap, and we could do things to it, I suppose.
Yes, and it's in quite a good neighborhood. I like it, Arthur. Let's take it.
Yes. It's no good going on looking at hundreds of flats. Let's go and tell her.
Oral Practice 1. Listen and repeat. A. Something decent. We found something decent. It's about time we found something decent. B.
Over with. And get it over with. Let's ring the bell and get it over with.
C.
Up a bit. Doing up a bit. The flat needs doing up a bit. I'm afraid the flat needs doing up a bit.
D.
By the way. This is the bathroom, by the way.
E.
Want me. When you want me. Downstairs when you want me. I'll be downstairs when you want me.
That's the end of Oral Practice 1. Oral Practice 2. You will now hear a dialogue in which you are going to take part. Listen, please.
Yes?
Good afternoon. I've come about the flat. Has it been taken yet?
No, it's not been taken yet. Are you the person who telephoned this morning?
Yes, that's right. You told me to come at 3 o'clock. I'm a little bit early, actually.
Yes, I thought I recognized your voice. It's shocking weather, isn't it? Shall I take your coat and umbrella?
Ah, thanks very much.
Now, this is the kitchen.
Oh, yes. It's quite a good size. Have you got a fridge, by the way?
No, there isn't a fridge, I'm afraid.
Would you be supplying pots and pans and cutlery and crockery?
Oh, yes. These are the saucepans in this cupboard. And you can see the cutlery in this drawer. And the top cupboard's full of crockery.
Oh, yes, I see. Yes, there'd be quite enough here, I'm sure. You didn't mention the bathroom in your advertisement. Is there one?
No, I'm sorry, there isn't one. The last people who were here used to wash in the kitchen.
Now you will hear the dialogue again. This time you must talk to the landlady and speak at the same time as the speaker on the tape.
Yes?
Good afternoon. I've come about the flat. Has it been taken yet?
No, it's not been taken yet. Are you the person who telephoned this morning?
Yes, that's right. You told me to come at 3 o'clock. I'm a little bit early, actually.
Yes, I thought I recognized your voice. It's shocking weather, isn't it? Shall I take your coat and umbrella?
Ah, thanks very much.
Now, this is the kitchen.
Oh, yes, it's quite a good size. Have you got a fridge, by the way?
No, there isn't a fridge, I'm afraid.
Would you be supplying pots and pans, and cutlery and crockery?
Oh, yes. These are the saucepans in this cupboard. And you can see the cutlery in this drawer. And the top cupboard's full of crockery.
Oh, yes, I see. Yes, there'd be quite enough here, I'm sure. You didn't mention the bathroom in your advertisement. Is there one?
No, I'm sorry, there isn't one. The last people who were here used to wash in the kitchen.
Good. Now, this time, you must talk to the landlady on your own.
Yes? No, it's not been taken yet. Are you the person who telephoned this morning? Yes, I thought I recognized your voice. It's shocking weather, isn't it? Shall I take your coat and umbrella? Now, this is the kitchen. No, there isn't a fridge, I'm afraid. Oh, yes. These are the saucepans in this cupboard, and you can see the cutlery in this drawer, and the top cupboard full of crockery. No, I'm sorry, there isn't one. The last people who were here used to wash in the kitchen.
That's the end of oral practice 2. Oral practice 3. Listen carefully to the passage. When you've heard it once or twice, try to answer the questions in your book.
Furnished flats are more expensive than unfurnished ones. Most people prefer to have an unfurnished flat and buy their furniture themselves. The trouble is, of course, that if a furnished flat is difficult to find, an unfurnished one is almost impossible. Most people, especially young people, find a furnished flat first, and then later try to find something unfurnished. It's much better to have a self-contained flat where you don't have to share a kitchen or a bathroom. A good furnished flat is provided with all the furniture that you could reasonably be expected to use. Sufficient crockery and cutlery for your needs, saucepans and frying pans, blankets and quilts for the beds, but not sheets or pillowcases.
That's the end of oral practice 3. Oral practice 4. Listen, please. You're ugly. Yes, I wish I were beautiful.
Yes, I wish I were beautiful.
You're miserable. Yes, I wish I were happy.
Yes, I wish I were happy.
Now, you go on in the same way. You're ugly.
Yes, I wish I were beautiful.
You're miserable.
Yes, I wish I were happy.
Your house is small.
Yes, I wish it were large.
This carpet's old.
Yes, I wish it were new.
Your father's poor, isn't he?
Yes, I wish he were rich.
The weather's cold.
Yes, I wish it were warm.
Your boyfriend's short.
Yes, I wish he were tall.
Your children are stupid.
Yes, I wish they were intelligent.
I'm very rude, aren't I?
Yes, I wish you were polite.
This exercise is difficult, isn't it?
Yes, I wish it were easy.
Oral practice 5. Look at your timetable for today. Listen, please. It's 7:30.
It's time I got up.
It's time I got up.
It's 8:30.
It's time I left the house.
It's time I left the house.
Now you go on in the same way. It's 7:30.
It's time I got up.
It's 8:30.
It's time I left the house.
It's 9 o'clock.
It's time I went to work.
It's 10 o'clock.
It's time I rang Mr. Johnson.
It's 11 o'clock.
It's time I attended the meeting.
It's 12 o'clock.
It's time I saw the boss.
It's 1 o'clock.
It's time I had lunch.
It's 2:15.
It's time I started work again.
Oral practice 6. Listen, please.
I hope you're going to paint that door.
Yes, it does need painting, doesn't it? But I'll be painting it sometime this year.
Yes, it does need painting, doesn't it? But I'll be painting it sometime this year.
I hope you're going to mend that fence.
Yes, it does need mending, doesn't it? But I'll be mending it sometime this year.
Yes, it does need mending, doesn't it? But I'll be mending it sometime this year.
Now, you go on in the same way.
I hope you're going to paint that door.
Yes, it does need painting, doesn't it? But I'll be painting it sometime this year.
I hope you're going to mend that fence.
Yes, it does need mending, doesn't it? But I'll be mending it sometime this year.
I hope you're going to redecorate the kitchen.
Yes, it does need redecorating, doesn't it? But I'll be redecorating it sometime this year.
I hope you're going to wash those curtains.
Yes, they do need washing, don't they? But I'll be washing them sometime this year.
I hope you're going to paper that ceiling.
Yes, it does need papering, doesn't it? But I'll be papering it sometime this year.
I hope you're going to sweep that chimney.
Yes, it does need sweeping, doesn't it? But I'll be sweeping it sometime this year.
I hope you're going to dig the garden.
Yes, it does need digging, doesn't it? But I'll be digging it sometime this year.
I hope you're going to cut down those trees.
Yes, they do need cutting down, don't they? But I'll be cutting them down sometime this year.
Oral Practice 7. Dictation. Cover up the passage and listen, please.
Living in a flat is sometimes not very peaceful. Some friends of mine have just moved into one where there is a couple upstairs who have loud arguments at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they even throw crockery at each other. There's an old lady across the hall who has several cats. Nobody is quite sure how many, but 22 is what the man downstairs says. Sometimes my friends get hardly any sleep at all.
Now you'll hear the passage again, and this time you must write down what you hear. Stop the machine at the pauses.
Living in a flat is sometimes not very peaceful. Some friends of mine have just moved into one where there is a couple upstairs who have loud arguments at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they even throw crockery at each other. There's an old lady across the hall who has several cats. Nobody is quite sure how many, but 22 is what the man downstairs says. Sometimes my friends get hardly any sleep at all.
Now, here's the passage again.
Living in a flat is sometimes not very peaceful. Some friends of mine have just moved into one where there is a couple upstairs who have loud arguments at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they even throw crockery at each other. There's an old lady across the hall who has several cats. Nobody is quite sure how many, but 22 is what the man downstairs says. Sometimes my friends get hardly any sleep at all.
Now, check the dictation in your book. That's the end of Chapter 1.